All right, so I want to just kind of brain dump a little on this double the dollar challenge, share my experience as I'm closing in on the first month. I am I'm at a net of close to 1,500 end of day today, maybe somewhere around there, $1,500 with another over $1,000 in assets that I think should sell within a week or two. I'm going to get more aggressive on my pricing. But anyway, so I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of a couple grand roughly on what I've been able to generate if you give some credit to my assets. And my plan was by this time to be closer to about 5 grand. So I've fallen short there. And that's bothered me a lot more than I thought it would. Since I was a kid, I've put like really high expectations on myself and as well as other people. And to some degree that has been helpful and productive in the sense that it has accomplished things and helped some other people to accomplish things for themselves. But it doesn't do a whole lot for peace of mind and a high standard of living when you're always trying to do more, chase more, do the next thing, catch the next level. And so all of that programming that I have is really revealing itself a whole lot during this challenge. I'm playing with $1,000 or so right now. I'm trying to get to $1 million, but I'm just playing with small dollars right now, and it's really affected me a lot more than I thought it would, that I don't have a couple thousand more. And this I don't need this competition to be successful for me to be secure financially. So like in some ways you could argue it doesn't matter a whole lot, but the way that I'm feeling and acting, the emotions that I'm dealing with would suggest otherwise, that there's a whole lot on the line here. And so this challenge is just teaching me a lot personally about letting go, about allowing things to just be, which I have a hard time with. In some areas of my life, I do a really good job of this, and I'm patient, and it's just whatever, and sometimes I kind of feel like a hippie. And then there's times when I just feel super rigid and robotic. And something that I've come to believe, a bit of a personal philosophy I've taken up, is that Kanye West says, when you try hard, you die hard. Is whenever there's a tight grip on anything, it can't move. I've come to learn this from experience. And there's just something, almost magical that happens when we surrender to a thing, when I release that resistance I have. My therapist told me yesterday, you're married to the outcome, not the process. And he was spot on. It's like, I'm not okay if I don't get the right outcome emotionally. And so this is a real difficult thing for me. And it's interesting how life, nature, God gives us opportunities to practice those things that we need help with, the things that are enslaving us still, preventing us from being free. It's interesting how we can practice those in very mundane, simple ways. Like this challenge that I'm doing, it's not even like the biggest thing on the line, but it's really challenging me to let go. I'm struggling to find some focus in this challenge. It's really bothering me being scattered. I've learned through my entrepreneurial journey that I'm way better off focusing on just one or two things and not getting spread too thin, because I do all of those at a C level instead of doing one at an A level. So, in my roofing company, very early on, we stopped doing anything except for roofing, basically. Did a small renovation for someone, hated that, didn't like how it had me so spread thin. And a lot of contractors get pulled into this where they'll just start to look at any opportunity as a money-making opportunity and go for it. Like, yeah, I can do your floors. Yeah, I can paint. Yeah, like we could do all of that stuff if we wanted to, but it takes our focus away from the one thing that we do well. And until we're the best in the country and we've completely saturated the United States in roofing, we don't really have any business doing anything else. As far as I'm concerned, that's just our way. It's not the only way. There's people very successful, general contractors that do a bunch of things. It's just not, I just know it's not for me. Like, I have to focus. I'm like the dog that sees the squirrel, like, oh, there's an opportunity. And so with this challenge, I've been struggling because I'm always on Marketplace looking for the next deal. And I don't know if the thing's a freaking patio set that I'm going to pick up for free that I just delivered, or if it's like a playhouse that I loaded up yesterday to pick up for free, or like am I gonna buy a lawnmower, or am I going to make jingles for companies, or am I going to make coasters? Am I going to transport plants? Like, there's all these different things, and it's important. I know that it's important to like test things in the early phases. Like, we have to get to know what's going to work before we start doing something. I'm reading this fantastic book by Rick Rubin, The Creative Act, The Way of Being. I think this is going to become a classic for decades, if not centuries. It is wonderfully written, and I don't know that I've read something that just resonated with me page after page after page around creativity. And he talks a lot about planting seeds and how important it is to not get attached to any of them, but just plant them and watch and see which ones grow. And by grow, it's like, do they start to blossom on their own without a lot of force? Like, do you get excited about it? Is there energy around it? Is there movement? So for a month now, I've been testing out, planting a bunch of seeds, and I've yet to determine somewhat of a path. And that's very frustrating because I've got plenty of other things pulling me in 100 directions. I don't need 7 opportunities within Double the Dollar. I've got to find some focus somewhere, but I don't want to be closed off to the opportunities that come. So I'm in this limbo place, trying to figure that out. And it's affected me emotionally to the point to where I'm just frustrated. I'm generally walking around frustrated half the time, and this is supposed to be fun. And then so I think about how it's supposed to be fun, and then I get more frustrated. And then I think about not being as present with my children and my wife as I want to. I get more frustrated. And so this little challenge in the early stages is presenting all of these opportunities to grow and move through this. And so, this is really turning out to be more of an exercise in my own personal evolution than anything else. So that's what I'm feeling. And as I'm moving forward, I'm going to be looking to find something that I can really get good at. I'm trying not to use a bunch of things that I'm already good at. I'm trying to maintain that within this challenge to where the average person looks on and says, okay, yeah, I could do that too. And they're not too intimidated by it, or they don't have an easy out or an easy excuse. I want them to be able to say, man, I could do that. I don't know anything about fixing four-wheelers or how to know if it's a good deal or anything like that. I know how to ride one. That's about it. But I'm thinking about trying to learn that so that maybe I can flip some four-wheelers. I don't know. Maybe I won't even think about that again after today. I'm obviously a little scattered in my thoughts around everything. But anyway, I just feel the need for some sort of focus and honing in. And it's time to, I think, start trying to get good at something and then just build that thing really fast. And we'll see how that goes. And I appreciate all of you who are following along. And I'm talking to you, a lot of you out on the streets. Whenever I run into you, this is what we talk about. And I'm glad that it's providing some sort of entertainment. And I'm sure some of you are watching to see if I fall flat on my face or if I make it. And there's probably equal people that want to see each of those outcomes, because that's human nature. I'm here for the ride and the journey.